Hello folks, welcome back to Be the Whole You. My name's Gullveig, and it is now that time again in which we are going to take a look at what is happening in the sky and see its reflection down below using the tarot and see if we can get some additional information on how best to utilize this current lunar alignment. In this one in particular, December 23rd, 2022, we have a super new moon in Capricorn. So a super new moon is one that is closer to the Earth than what is usual. Of course, we're not going to be able to actually see it in the sky because Luna is going to be dark. And also what's very interesting about this particular new moon is that it is only 2 days after the winter solstice. And the winter solstice is the longest night of the year. So here we have two energies that are all about rest, recuperation, and gestation. And as we're going to see, with this Capricorn energy, there's a lot of strategy, planning, and gestation that is happening for this new moon. So just a couple of things that really was highlighted when I was taking a look at this is, for one, when I looked at the astrological chart, the star chart for this, I instantly got this vision of like a boxer who is at the beginning of the last round, and he's in his corner and he's got his coaches, and the coaches are like massaging his shoulders, and you know they're whispering in his ear, like saying, hey, you know, when your opponent does a cross, then you're going to duck and weave. I feel like for a lot of us, this new moon, metaphorically, is that for us. That some of us have had a difficult year. So if you've had a challenging year, if you've had a challenging few years even, this can give you that second wind. And that pause of going into the corner of the boxing ring, so to speak, is that moment that we're in right now, where we are in the corner and we are pausing. We're taking a moment to gather ourselves, to re-strategize, to listen to the guidance that is coming to us, and to plan how we're going to move into this next round. And so if you've been feeling stuck, if you've been feeling lethargic, if you've been struggling with depression, if the challenges just feel like insurmountable and you've been feeling like maybe just giving up, now is a beautiful new moon to be able to gather your strength, gather your resources, and to get that second wind to move ahead. Because Capricorn, I consider Capricorn to be one of the most tenacious of all of the zodiac signs. It is symbolized by the mountain goat. So the mountain goat has to traverse many challenges in order to get to the top of the mountain, so to speak. And also with Capricorn, sometimes it's symbolized by the sea goat. So not only does Capricorn know how to go to new heights, but also Capricorn is able to go into deep depths and to traverse the challenges above and below in order to get to where they want to go. So if you're needing a second wind, if you're needing a boost, this new moon is coming with many blessings for you. And I'll get to that in a second. We have a few things here, and I'm going to pull some cards here. But we have like a sexky square that is with the moon, that is with Uranus and Taurus. So Capricorn is an earth sign, and because it's an earth sign, it rules mainly over earthly material things. So job, home, health, those type of things. And so our situations, our earthly situations, our physical situations are going to change. So it wouldn't be uncommon for folks to decide that it's time to move to a new home or to a new state or to a new province or even a new country. It might be something where we've finally made the decision that it's time to make a career change or make changes within our health or make changes on who advises us on our health or finances. Capricorn and earth signs are also around wealth and finances. So we may make changes in how we relate to money and how we manage our money. So all of these things. If you're looking for a do-over, if you're looking for some transformation and you need a little bit more drive and energy and support in order to take the actions to do the things that need to be done in order to get those changes, this new moon is your remedy. So I'm super excited to pull some cards. Let's take a look and see what the cards have to say about this new moon in Capricorn, December 23rd. So set the intention for this group reading that the parts of the messages that are most pertinent to your particular situation and to your life are the things that are going to be highlighted for you in this reading. That all of a sudden they will just stand out, like that part of the reading is definitely for you. So just join me in setting that intention, and we'll set the intention of what do we need to know or do at this time to best utilize this super new moon in Capricorn on December 23rd, 2022. There's already so many things that are coming through, so okay. All right, very first card that comes up, and it's very synchronistic to everything that I was just talking about, is the Ace of Swords. Holla! Ace of Swords is about success, and it's also about mental clarity. What's coming to me around this is about strategy. So Capricorn is very much about planning and strategy and organization and being very systematic about their approach. So if there has been a lot of distractions, if there has been a lot of chaos, this is a really good time to cut through the BS and just focus on what is it that is really going to get you to your prize. Eye on the prize. This is definitely a new moon that's allowing us to reprioritize and get focused on the long game. So if there has been a lot of needing to put out temporary fires that are needing our attention right here, right now, and it just seems like no matter what it is that we do, we keep getting distracted by temporary short-term things that need our attention right now. Now's a really good time to pause so that we can put out whatever fires need to be put out and then prioritize how is it that, even in small little chunks, how can we devote our time even in small little increments to get us to where it is that we need to go. The other thing that is around this too is related to the card of the Two of Wands, which again is about planning, it's about strategy. So this figure right here, you can see the boats in the background, he is planning for a journey. He's planning to get to his destination, but he hasn't got on the boat yet. So one of the things about Capricorn energy that we do need to be aware of, and this is in relationship also to what Mars is doing right now. Mars is in retrograde, and it can make us itchy. So you might get some new insight. You might find that you might be more inspired or driven or have like this burst of energy, which will create for a lot of us this predisposition to just go do the thing. Right now is not necessarily the time to be recruiting other people. In fact, this new moon is really about knowing yourself first and foremost. It's not a selfish energy, it is a self-focused energy, which are two very different things. Selfish energy usually is something where we're actually borrowing from other people's energy for our own gain, our own agenda, and our own benefit. But self-focused is a healthy, self-contained kind of energy. And this is really about nurturing oneself. It's about really getting clear on what is it that you want and what is it that you need in order to get what it is that your heart truly desires. And the Two of Wands, he's packing his bags and he is setting his compass and strategizing how to set his course most effectively, most efficiently. A little bit of the kicker here is we have the Five of Cups. Five of Cups, this is very much appropriate for the kind of energy that we're looking at. This individual here, he's perseverating on these 3 cups that have been spilled. So past disappointments, maybe some things that didn't work out, perhaps some fears of what could go wrong in the future, worries, doubts, so on and so forth. And he's so focused on that he doesn't really even notice that there's 2 full cups right behind him. So, and then that is in relationship to the Death card reversed. So the thing that may be difficult for some of us right now is letting go of what was. This could be coming in the form of, well, that didn't work this last time. So how am I supposed to have faith that the energy that I put forward now is going to be worth the investment and the hard work? There might be this doubt that if we move forward, that our energy will actually have a return, will have an investment, because maybe it didn't in the past. What the cards are saying is that your past does not define your future. And that is part of what the Ace of Swords has to say. So the 5 of Cups is also a card about moving on. You see in the background we have this bridge, right? And we have the bridge that's going over the river. A river is always a symbol of a hedge, so to speak. And in this case, it's the hedge between what was and what could be. And it's also a hedge between the primal nature, the wilderness, so to speak, and the city of refuge on the other side. So what this individual needs to do is he needs to turn around, honor that the cups are spilled, but leave them there, and pick up his cups and cross over the bridge. It's time to move on. So we've had a lot of readings in the past few months around healing our inner wounds and processing tough emotions. And now we're at a place where we have done a lot of processing, and through that we probably have some new perspective on what it is that we need. And now it's time to start gathering the resources and taking incremental steps to move ahead. That also comes, all of this also very much wraps into very nicely with the North Node at 10 degrees in Taurus. The North Node is in retrograde right now. And so Uranus is about upheaval and it's about change, and Uranus is also in Taurus and it is conjuncting this North Node. The North Node is what it is that we're moving towards. It's in our birth chart it is associated with our soul's purpose, our life's mission. And so there might be some upheaval, there might be some chaos that might come up to the surface, but what I'm seeing here is that in this particular case, any of that chaos is not going to feel quite as overwhelming as it might have in the past. It's almost kind of like some of us might have been digesting and processing so much chaos over the last year or 3, that at this point in time we might have a little bit more perseverance to whatever it is that might be coming our way. It's almost like any chaos that comes up will be an indication that the necessary changes are happening. So we might be actually more excited about some of the upheaval than feeling discouraged by it in this particular time. And that's because, and the reason why I say that is because of the 5 of Cups being an indication that we now know that it's time to move on, and the 2 of Wands being about time to pack our bags, and now we're planning and strategizing. So as long as we don't get caught up with holding on to what was, or holding on to our fears and our doubts, and maybe even pessimism, we'll be able to move forward with grace and ease. There is so much support around transforming our lives in whatever way it is that we feel is necessary, that at this point it almost doesn't really make sense to hold on to the fears, the doubts. And in fact, we are going to have even more perspective around how that clinging might be holding us back. Let's see, what else? There is One of the ways that this is being supported is, even though Jupiter isn't really aligned with the new moon in this particular case, Jupiter is at 0 degrees in Aries. And Jupiter is, well, it's funny because Jupiter is often associated with Santa Claus. So, like, he's this jolly energy of good luck, and he's in Aries at 0 degrees. And Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, so new beginnings, new cycles. Aries is also a energy that is about the sovereign self, and it's about honoring the self, which this new moon is very much about focusing on ourselves and focusing on our plans, our dreams, and our aspirations. And so if we take independent action and if we focus on ourselves first in this particular case, will be attracting more of the good luck. So basically focusing on what it is that we want, not on what we don't want. Chiron is also at 11 degrees in Aries, and so 11 is also a master number. It is a number of self-mastery in this particular case, Aries being the self-honoring zodiac sign, and Chiron is the wounded healer. So the actions that we're taking that honor ourselves and are true to our heart's deepest desires, our dreams, our aspiration, and taking those healthy risks and those actions that are necessary in order to move forward are not just going to have an effect on our physical circumstances that will improve our circumstances, but also are going to heal us on a very deep level. It's almost like, okay, we'll go back to the boxer metaphor, right? So, Rocky, he's in that corner, and perhaps he got his bell rung a couple of times in those last few rounds, and he doesn't know if he's got it in him to keep moving forward. He don't know if he got it. And so he's gathering his strength during this winter solstice. He's pausing during this new moon. He's listening to the guidance. He's getting those strategies, and he's planning about how he's going to maneuver through this next round. And as he does so, he also realizes that he also has everything within him in order to do it. Like, something clicks. And as he goes into that next round and he faces those challenges and he looks those fears straight in the eye and he gives them a 1-2, he wins the fight. And then there is like a new level of confidence. There's a new level of an awareness of just how strong he really is and how tenacious he really is. That is what this new moon can give to us. We just have to be willing to get out of the corner. We have to be willing to get back in there. And what I'm seeing here with the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Swords and the Two of Wands is that although there might be some trepidation, I'm not really quite sure if I want to get back in the ring, that most of us will probably decide to do so, and that we will be infinitely blessed if we just listen to our guidance and do the hard things. But you're ready. You're ready. You've got this. The one thing too that I might invite with Capricorn energy is so independent that a lot of times it doesn't ask for help. Even though I'm giving the analogy of the boxer, it doesn't always have to be fight and force. So any potential that you might have to soften the edges by asking for assistance, reaching out for help, by all means do that. Capricorn can make us a little bit overly independent. One thing before we wrap up here is that we do have Pluto, Venus, and Mercury also in Capricorn. They're not conjunct, but because they're in Capricorn, I thought that it would be worthwhile taking a look at them. Pluto is about transformation, and Pluto is at 27 degrees. 27, 2 + 7 = 9, and Pluto is the planet of transformation, of death and rebirth. It keeps getting repeated in the cards as well as in the astrological alignment here that we are definitely at a threshold between what was and what will be, and that we have a beautiful time, right, opportunity here to be able to decide what comes next and to plant those seeds intentionally. And then with that, we have also Mercury at 21 degrees. That's and 2 + 1 = 3. That's new beginnings and communication. And so Mercury is about communication as well. And so Mercury goes into retrograde on the 28th, I believe. So sometime next week. And when that happens, obviously that energy is going to be pulled back a bit. So if there's things that you need to say, if there's some communication that needs to be made, you might want to wrap that up this week. And then we have Venus that is at 16 degrees in Capricorn, and 1 + 6 = 7. And Venus is, it's blessing all of these physical changes that are happening. So we were talking about the North Node and the Ceci square of Uranus, both of these being in Taurus, and Taurus being very much about our physical circumstances. Well, Venus is also about wealth and beauty and creativity, and also about luck to a certain extent as well. And so she is also blessing all of these changes that might be going on in our physical circumstances. So we might have something that comes up around our job, and we might have something that comes up around our health or wealth, financial income. All of these are changing, but Venus is there to give us creative solutions. So number 7 is about creativity. And so here we have again about planning and about cutting through, cutting right here. It's like almost like hedging our lives. Like, what is it that needs to be cut off? What is it that needs to be, like, how do we prune our life circumstances in order to only take with us to our new journey that which we actually need, that which is actually helpful? And what is it that needs to be left behind? And we might have some resistance around letting go, but that's okay. That's human. We've got this. We can do this. And to move on to a new place, a new future. And we might find that we actually end up completely renovating our life circumstances. The new moon is at 1 degree in Capricorn. Number 1 is the Magician in the tarot. The Magician is the self-made person. The Magician has everything that they need. They have their sword, they have their thoughts and their inspiration, they have their cup, their mastery over their emotions, they have their wand, passion, desire, and drive, and a healthy relationship with that. And they have their pentacle, which is the mastery over their earthly resources. They have everything that they need. And the universe is telling you that you have everything you need in order to achieve the next step in your growth, your evolution, and mastery over your own life circumstances. This is a really powerful new moon. It's the last portal of 2022, and it is really laying a very powerfully transformative foundation for 2023. So thank you all so much for joining me for this reading. This is a reading that I feel just so excited about, and I can't wait to hear from you guys and drop in the comments below, not just how you responded to the reading, but like, how have things transpired over the next few weeks, over the next month? How have things changed? I have a sneaking suspicion that for some of us, at least, we will have some very overt changes happening, and it's all exciting. It's all good. All right, thank you all so much. If you are in need of clarity over your own specific circumstances, specific changes that might be coming up, if you're needing to maybe even take a look at the year ahead of 2023, we can always do a spread to see what the year ahead looks like for you. Or if you're needing to overcome some difficult things like inner child healing or shadow work, anything of that nature, go to www.BeTheWholeYou.com and book your reading or your healing session. Thank you all so much for joining me here, and I'll see you here in the next couple of weeks. I have lots of changes that are coming up to this particular channel, some things I'm very excited about. as well as some changes to the podcast. And I will be announcing those in the next week or so. All right, all, have a happy holiday. Stay safe, stay sane, and I'll see you in a couple weeks.